Today's lesson is 10.2 with the dividing part of dividing like bases. So I'm going to go to page 407 and do a couple examples from here. So when we divide like bases, we're going to, give me some little bit. There we go. When we divide like bases, we have to look at the exponents, and we're going to subtract exponents. So when we have z to the 6th power divided by z to the 5th power, since 6 is bigger, we are going to move this power up. So it turns into z to the 6th minus 5th power, and when I move that other one up, I'm going to put a 1 underneath. You don't necessarily have to have that because we know like 2 over 1 equals 2. But I'm going to leave it there just for fun. And then I just subtract. 6 minus 5 is 1. So it turns to z to the 1st power over 1, which would also just be z. You could put z to the 1st power, but we know there's an imaginary 1 there. If I have let's do number 30. N to the 21st power divided by n to the 12th power. Again, 21 is bigger than 12, so we're going to move it up to make it n to the 21st minus 12th power over 1. And so you just take 21, take away 12, which is 9. We're going to leave it as n, and then I can put over 1, which just equals n to the 9th power. So that's if the top variable is bigger than, or the top exponent is bigger than the bottom exponent. But there's sometimes where, like number 42, where the bottom exponent is bigger than the top one. Well, in that case, you have to bring it down instead of pulling the numbers up. So it turns into 1 over m, 7 take away 6, which turns into 1 over m to the 1st power, which you can write it as that, or you can say this is going to be m to the negative 1st power. So when there's a 1 on top, your exponent up here has to be negative. Let's do another one like that. So number 35 has a to the 3rd power divided by a to the 11th power. So I'm going to pull that 3 down, so it's turning it into 1 over a to the 11th power minus 3, which turns it to 1 over a 11 minus 3 is 8, which you can write it as that, or you can put a to the negative 8th power. And that's all because the exponent at the bottom is bigger than the exponent on the top. So when that's the case, you either need to have 1 over your answer, or you need to have your exponent be a negative number. Now, number 36 has y to the 6th power divided by y to the 6th power. Well, that turns into y to the 6 minus 6 power, which turns into y to the 0 power. Well, any variable or number to the 0 power is always going to be 1. So if your exponents are the same, your answer is going to equal 1 every single time. If your exponent is bigger on top than it is on bottom, then you just have to keep the variable and subtract the two numbers, the two exponents. If your exponent is bigger on bottom than it is on top, you keep the variable and put it over 1, or you make your exponent a negative number. You could write it as either of these answers. Both answers are correct.